Welcome to another episode of Candid Moments with Candice Kirkbride. I am excited to introduce my guest today, who's a friend of mine. She is a local author, and she's actually one of Sudbury's first women minors at INCO. Please help me welcome Cathy Mulroy to the microphone. Hi, Cathy.
Hi, how's it going, Candice?
I'm well, thanks. How are
Good.
you?
I'm doing great today, thank you. Just want to clarify, I wasn't a miner. I just worked at a mining company. I worked in a refinery. Just to clarify, because a lot
Thank
of people
you.
don't seem to understand that it's not just about mining, it's refining and smelting and a whole bunch of other things.
Okay, so you were on the surface.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Oh, that's okay.
I did make that mistake before.
Oh, you and a whole bunch of other people. It's okay.
No, clarification is good. And how proud, Cathy, you wrote My View from the Blackened Rocks. And this is quite the read. It's like a 500-page book, and it's very personal. And there's so many great stories in it. You've been through quite a bit, my dear.
Yeah, I'm glad it's over.
How long have you been retired now?
Since 2004. So it's been a while. Yeah, it's
Good
been
for
a long
you.
while.
So,
And I'm enjoying it
oh,
tremendously,
good.
tremendously.
What's your favorite part about retirement?
Going to bed when you feel like it, getting up when you feel like it, eating when you feel like it, just everything. Everything is just so much different
Oh,
than
that's
being on a
wonderful.
schedule. Yeah.
What inspired you to write and publish this book?
Well, it all started, I was 19 when I started working at INCO. And it wasn't very easy because the men didn't want us there and their wives didn't want us there and the company didn't want us there. And I was doing it because I wanted to get out of a bad marriage. So that's sort of the background of why I went and applied. When I was there, I wasn't treated very well. And I noticed that was my first grievance. And I had met my soon to be best friend at INCO, which was Bruce McKagan. He had just become a steward. I was his first case, and I was many cases after that for Bruce. But I noticed he wrote things down. So when we went to the second stage grievance, it dawned on me that this was a really good idea to write things down, because then you don't have to remember. I began to write down everything that happened. It didn't matter what it was. I wrote on pieces of paper. I wrote on cigarette packages, paper towels, shoved them in my hard hat, got home, put them in a box. And I did that for 30 years.
Wow. So a grievance, is that like a
Yes.
complaint to the company?
Yes. What usually happens is the company gives you, there's 4 steps. So if you do something that they feel is wrong, then they give you a step, a warning, a counseling slip.
Okay.
So then you have a right, because you have a union, you have a right to fight that counseling slip. So that's how the process goes. You have a grievance, you go to first stage, they always say, no, you deserved it. Second stage is a little more detailed, and usually they say you deserve it.
Oh,
Yeah. And then it usually stays on your record. They can add on after the second. If you have to step 2, they can add on. If you have 4 steps, you could get fired.
okay. So it's a complaint to the employee.
Yes, it's a way to fight back. Like as if you had a lawyer say you had a speeding ticket and you didn't feel you deserved it.
Okay.
Well, you have a right to fight that ticket. It's the same with the penalties at work. You have the right to fight it.
Okay. What were your challenges in writing this story?
Well, first, I'm dyslexic. So that's
Okay.
quite
Oh my
difficult.
gosh.
Yes. And it's a severe kind of dyslexia where I don't always see the letters properly, or I can't, if I see them, sometimes they don't compute. So it took a lot of work. And then writing it out, the whole book was written out by hand the first time. So then try to decipher what I wrote was another challenge. because I can't spell very well. So it was a long process. Then I was lucky to get my first editor here in Sudbury, Amy, and she was absolutely fantastic. And then I went to a publishing company, Self-Publishing, because I wanted to keep all the rights just in case something ever went, something bigger went from the book.
Good for you. That is so smart. Did you self-publish with a Canadian company?
Oh, definitely, in British
Okay.
Columbia, Victoria. Yeah, they're called Tellwell, and I think that they did a great job. I'm very happy with them.
Elwell?
Tellwell, yeah, like tell it well, tell well.
Oh,
Cute, eh?
Elwell.
Cute.
Okay. Good for you. That the last time. Okay, wait. No, that wasn't
Okay.
where I was going. You've been through a lot as far as fighting for equality for women working in the trade.
Yes.
And was that difficult for you to bare your soul like that while writing your book?
No, in fact, it was really healing. Remember when I was on Mo Mondays with you,
Yeah.
my song going up was "It's Good to Be Alive" right about now.
Yes. Oh,
And
what
it's so true,
yeah.
because it took a lot to do that. But I found that as I was writing it and rewriting it and rewriting it, I started feeling better, like physically, mentally. So it was a big healing experience to get this book written.
Wow. It's and emotionally, right?
Yes, emotionally, there were tears and there were
Yeah.
anger, lots of anger. I'm not a very good at crying, so a lot of my stuff comes out in anger, maybe not so much now, but when I was going through everything, because it worked. I went to see a psychologist and had a really good long talk with her, and that's what we came up with was all through this healing thing. And my anger was always the top because, like I said, it worked. If I told a boss to F off after he told me to F off, it sort of stopped it, and then so you sort of learn that technique. Yeah. But unfortunately, it was in everything I did. My anger was in my with my children and my home life. It was very difficult working at Inc, but I wasn't going to quit. There was
Wow.
no way.
So when was that pivotal moment where you switched gears and you let go of that anger?
I would say it was after the book was published and I went to the book launch. The reality, it was like Niagara Falls. It just swoosh. And then I began the healing process. And
Did
so
you
now I'm doing really well.
Good. Did you cry then?
Not really, no. I'm not,
No,
like I said,
that's okay.
no,
Everybody's
I'm not
different.
I'm not much of a crier. It takes a lot of different things to make me to get to that point.
Yeah.
Little kids and that kind of stuff.
The first time you held your first copy in your hand, how did that feel?
Oh, well, you know what that feels like
I
because you have a
do.
great book.
I'll grab mine. Do you have
Yeah,
yours?
grab yours.
Mine is a lot lighter than yours, but you made, right? It's something you created.
Right. And when you feel that,
And
you when
smell
it
like
came
the
in,
pages.
oh my God, it was so exciting. And then it's like to have that a physical book in your hands with your name on it.
Yeah,
That's pretty darn exciting.
yes, you
That's pretty
made
darn
that.
exciting. Yeah.
Oh, I see. That time I did cry. Doesn't
Oh, I
happen.
was so happy that I was on cloud 9.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How long did it take to write?
15 years.
Wow.
Well, I got really sick, Candice. After I left Inco, I was in and out of the hospital with internal problems, operation after operation after operation. And then everything was infected and I was dying. And I met a wonderful doctor in Toronto, Dr. D. Resende. And boom, here I am, healthy and loving every minute of it. And so grateful
Oh,
for
I
this
love that
doctor.
word.
Oh, so do I, because it's empowering, isn't it? When you
Yes.
feel grateful and you say, I feel grateful, it's empowering to an individual. I
It
agree.
is. That is amazing. And it took a long time to get to a place of gratitude, right?
It did. It
Yeah,
did. But
we're
there's
not
no rush. There was no rush. I mean, couldn't very well sit at a computer when you've had multiple operations on your intestines.
right.
But after that, like I said, if Amy, she was absolutely wonderful. She was so patient with me when we were going through the book, smart as a whip. And then it was wonderful to if you notice, the end of the book doesn't say the end. And I did that for a reason,
Oh,
because I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm not sure. I
right.
could write a couple more, but I'm just not sure if that's what I want to do in the future.
Okay. Hmm. I had interviewed you before the stage a couple years
Yes.
ago,
Yes.
and you had told me, and that was the first time we had met in person, and you had told me that you were 65.
Yeah.
Is that true? That was a couple
Yeah.
years ago.
I'll be 67 in August.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you feel great.
This is the healthiest I've ever been, I think, in my entire life. In my
Wow.
entire life.
And when I called and your husband answered the other day, he said that you were out working in the garden, so he went to
Yep.
grab you. How's the
Yeah.
garden coming along?
Oh, it's going great. We got somebody to build a new gazebo. So I painted all the bottom part, and then I moved some of the flowers around, and we've got tomatoes growing, and eh, it's just a whole different lifestyle now, being healthy again. And I know that I have way too many tomatoes, way too many, but that's good because I'm a giver. So once they all start growing, I'll just give them to the neighbors or whoever wants them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's so great. So during the pandemic, how have book sales been? I know that's an odd question.
Well, it's not, at the beginning, it wasn't really that bad because people were selling them right out of the house. So
Right.
people would come to the door and I'd sell them. And then I met a few people on Facebook we talked about Sally Matthews. She was one of the women who was killed at Inco. Her
Okay.
daughters heard about the book, and both of them, one lives way up north in Alberta and the other one lives in Montreal, and they both bought books. They're both on my Facebook, and now I have two new friends that are attached because of the book. So grateful again,
Oh,
like,
good.
yeah.
It's amazing how we can be so connected.
Yes.
When you think about legacy, do you think of equality in Canada's mining industry?
What was that again?
When you think of legacy,
Of my legacy
yeah,
or a like, yeah,
your legacy.
well, I think that my little space on my tombstone, if I have a tombstone, that little space, I made my mark. That's the way I look at it right now. I made my mark. And no matter once I'm dust, my book is going to stay living, just like your book. Our story can go on and on and on forever, because it's all written down. So yeah,
I
there's a
love-
legacy. There's a legacy for both of us.
Yeah,
You know
you're
what I
right.
mean? Like,
Oh,
yeah,
doesn't that feel good?
it does.
I asked my friend the other day a question, and she says, "Wow, you ask really like deep, personal questions." And I said, "Well, if you were uncomfortable with that question, just say so. If you feel that that was like a little too much, just tell me." Because for me, I ask lots of people on my show, what do you think about legacy? And they answer me. So when I
Yeah.
asked my friend the other day, I don't know. everybody
I
answers
guess
it
everybody's
differently.
different. And for me, I mean, if I didn't want to answer your question, I would just say, I'm not answering that. But
Good.
usually it
Yeah.
doesn't matter to me. I'm an open book, mind the pun.
Yeah. I love the pun. Oh, that's great. What exciting things are to come for Cathy Mulroy?
Well, let's see. I'm hoping this pandemic is over soon, or at least under control. I'm not sure where I'm at with that. I'm staying pretty quiet at home, in the yard, groceries once in a while. That's about it. I'm hoping in the future that somebody maybe sees the book and may be interested in putting a movie together.
I
That
was
would be really exciting. And
sc-
then I would write some more. I would have no problem writing some more.
screenplay writer.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Do you
That
have
would be fun.
connections?
Well, I was on another podcast a couple of weeks ago named Rob's Inner Circle, and they gave me a person's name. So I think I will write to him. He's in Toronto, and I'll see if he's interested. And if not, I do believe in karma. I do believe in people come into your lives for a reason. If it wasn't meant to be, well, then it's okay. I do have affirmations, of little movie things hanging around all over the place,
Yeah.
little pictures. If that's where it's going to go, then great. If not, that's okay too.
Amazing. I like how open to opportunity that you are and that you believe in karma.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
That is so important. And yeah, I think karma really proved itself true once you published your book. Because
Well, yeah, and the men that come forward too, like we think we had this discussion once before, but the men that come forward, sometimes they'll say, "Oh, Cathy, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me you were going through this?" Like as if they're going to fix it. That was something nobody could fix. People cannot fix that kind of behavior just by telling somebody.
right,
It's
because
not going to happen.
there was abuse and violence in the work.
Oh, it was horrible. Like they would be writing on the walls, Cathy's a pig, Cathy's a slut. And then when my steward, Bruce McKagan, came with me to the boss's office, he said, "Well, Cathy, if you don't like it, there's the door." Until Bruce said, "But they're defacing company property." Oh, well, wait a minute. Different point of view. They painted over it. Unfortunately, the wall meant more to that boss than a woman saying, "This isn't appropriate."
Oh my gosh. Good thing things have changed since then. It's too bad that
I
you
think
had to,
somewhat. I don't think they've changed a whole lot.
no,
Well, women still can't go walking down the street at nighttime. Like, it's not safe. I wouldn't let my 15-year-old granddaughter go walking at nighttime by herself. My 12-year-old grandson, who's taller than me, he's probably safer than she is. So
yeah,
not
that's,
things haven't really changed.
no, that's scary.
No.
They do say there's zero tolerance for bullies these days,
Yeah.
but I don't feel 100% comfortable walking down the street at night
No.
by
And we should
myself.
be able to. We
Yeah,
should be able to have that feeling of that we're not going to get jumped, or we're not going to get a car pull up and three guys are going to come and drag you into the car. You know, that kind of stuff's been going on throughout history. I don't know if it's ever going to change. Maybe if women were in charge of the world, maybe then.
that if we ran things, it would look different.
I think so too. I really do.
Hey, a girl can dream.
Yeah. If you're going to dream big. That's what I always say. If
Yes,
you're going to dream big.
absolutely. So what would who would play your character in the movie?
Oh, if it was like right now,
Yeah.
Melissa Melissa Williams, I think is her name. She played in the Game of Thrones as Arya. Okay, she was the little person Arya, the girl, the little sister. But she killed a lot of people, but not that I'm going to kill a lot of people. But that character,
Okay.
where she was up on the mountains and climbing the rocks and learning how to sword fight, that was my character when I was little. That was me. But I don't know if they don't get it going soon. She might be too old. But I saw her in a movie not too long ago, and she's pretty short, just like me. So that would be really good for her. Good
Hey,
for me.
yeah, good for both
Maybe
of
I
you.
should write her or get her on Facebook. Say, hey, do you want to do a movie together?
The worst answer you will get to any question is no or no, not right now.
Yeah. But no, that's all I can say is no. It certainly wouldn't hurt my feelings.
But if she said yes, how would you be able to handle that?
Oh, I could handle it. I would be so ecstatic, like
Right?
way above ecstatic. Yeah,
So the movie would be called My View from the Blackened Rock.
it definitely would be. Yes.
Wow. And it would be based in what year?
Well, that would depend, because if you do it as a fictional, then you could add on a bunch of stuff. If you're doing it as like true to fact, a lot of people might know who everybody is. So I think it would be, you know what I mean? If you do
Yes.
it in Sudbury, I'd have to pick a place, maybe a place in Europe that's a mining place, that doesn't have
Yeah, but
anything to do with it.
you don't have to put the names of
No, but
the
people
people.
that read the book, they know who I'm talking about. I never put anybody's name except for Bruce's in my
Okay.
book. I never put, but people know who I was talking about because they know the same people, right?
Right. But what
Yeah.
year would it be based in? Would it be, was the
I
80s?
think the
Or-
70s would be really important, because
Okay.
that's where, oh, I forget her name now. Oh my God, she was on, the Supreme Court, and she was the one that passed the law of the human rights. Oh, what's her name? They made a movie about her too. Oh, I can't think of her name right now. But because she won that, and it in the law, it didn't say anything, like it used to say discrimination against, your beliefs, your religion, blah blah,
Right.
had nothing to do with gender. That just came out in the 70s. In the 70s, under the Human Rights Code.
Ouch.
I know, scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
We weren't even mentioned. Yeah.
Wow. Who was did you have any specific like target market when you were writing the book, or you just wanted to get your story out?
I just wanted to get my story out.
Yeah.
Laurentian University had women's studies and labor studies. I spoke there 4 times. I spoke at Carleton University, women's studies. Now with the gone at Laurentian, I'm not
Yeah.
sure what's going to happen to all that stuff and all that history. And
Right. Didn't
so,
you didn't you want to go somewhere north?
yeah, I'm going to go Timmins. I'm going to go to Timmins and Kirkland Lake and Sault Ste. Marie and Cobalt, all the small mining communities. I
Okay.
want to tell my story to the small mining communities. I've also been asked to go to Hamilton. And yes, I would go to Hamilton, big steel town, but I would love to go
Awesome.
north and see all the smaller places. And I don't care if I sell one book or if I give a book to the library, that's okay too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
If you just get to meet these people, and if your book is in the library,
that's
almost
right.
more chance of people reading it. Because it's free.
Exactly. That's right. That's right.
That's so great. So in your mind, are you a Sudbury successful, a successful Sudbury #1 bookseller? Like I want to say like New York Times bestseller. No, like a
No,
Sudbury
I think
New York Times
well,
bestseller.
for me, I'm just so happy that Cole's put it in theirs and Chapters put it in theirs, and um, Bayou's bookstore has it in theirs, and so to me that's okay. Like as far as number one, well, Kohl's, when I brought it there at Christmas time, they put it on just under the sign that said best books of the year 2019.
Oh,
I couldn't have asked for anything better.
did you take a picture?
I did. It's
Oh,
on my
good.
website. Yeah, it's on my website.
Oh, you should be proud of that. That's so fun. So
Yes.
the website is
It's Mulroy's View.
okay.
Mulroy's View.
Yeah. .ca. That is awesome.
Yeah. So
what?
I'm working on it. I don't have the time right now, but I'd like to get it fixed up a little more, and put more pictures on the Instagram. But that takes time,
Oh, the website.
Yeah, on the website. It's okay right now for whatever I'm doing with it. But outside and getting the garden done, because it's been like raining and raining and raining.
So you're enjoying the summer right now.
Oh, it's so wonderful. And being able to get down on my knees and into the ground and not have to worry about any pain anymore, and not be sore I'm sore from old age, but you know what I mean? When you get up, I don't have pain anymore. And
how did you get rid of pain? That is my big question.
Well, first of all, I met that doctor. And I met him by accident. Okay. It's another long story. It's in the book, but I met him by accident. When I first met him, and the mesh that was in had ripped all the intestines. And he said, Cathy, this is complicated. I said, oh no, my heart sank, right? And he said, but I love a good challenge. When he said that, I had no fear. Everything was lifted off of me. I went through it. I had to go and learn how to walk again, and like little steps. I had canes, but I kept pursuing it. And meditation is number one. People need to meditate. Get rid of that anxiety and tell yourself this pain is leaving me. And you start convincing yourself. For me, it's working. So I think that's the number one thing to try and do is meditating.
Meditate.
Yeah.
This pain is leaving.
This pain is leaving me. And every time you take a breath, feel that leaving you. And then you are going to feel better, because it's the mindset. It's all the mindset.
Right. I'm still dealing with that, but
I know you are.
People deal with it just in their own way, I suppose.
Right? Yep, that's true. Yeah. The meditation does help. It might not cure it all, but it does help. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody has their own kind of ways. I like meditation, but it's not my answer. I haven't found my answer yet. But tomorrow I get to see my doctor, and I have a question. I'm going to make sure that she doesn't say no. So everyone, I just hope that I seek my answer, and I hope that everybody.
I hope you find it too. I'll send good vibe your way.
Thank you so much. Oh, it's all good. And if I know books are print on demand nowadays. So if you go to your website, mulroysview.com, you can order a book and it will ship right to you. You can
through Amazon, or you could call me, because I have about 200 left. And I'm hoping that's going to supply up north and Hamilton area.
Awesome.
But my phone number is 705-525-0575. And the books are $25, no tax.
Perfect. And you will sign them if we buy them.
Oh, I definitely will sign them.
And if you go on Amazon, please, everybody, know that the Indigo, they take 55 or 45, 55% of the royalties. So buy a physical copy from the author to help out our local author. It really does help. And we see local people achieve their dreams, and it feels so good, right?
It does. A little town up here in Sudbury, and
Yeah.
there's just so much that's happening, even during the pandemic. I mean, look at what we're doing. This is wonderful. We're still connecting to each other.
Yes, it's so great. Okay, this has been a wonderful time connecting with you today, Cathy, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, well, Candice, it was wonderful to see you again.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I just can't wait till we can get together live,
yes,
have our coffee, chit chat.
yeah,
Yeah.
talk about things that we don't typically record during a candid moment.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah.
I'll be the first one to say it,
Me
but yeah.
too. Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Cathy, and I hope that you enjoy your garden to the fullest.
Oh, I do. I hope to. I really do. So, you know, maybe once we're allowed more visitors, you can come over and sit in my gazebo. How is that?
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love it.
Or you can come and visit me at the lake and see all the ducks. It's really nice.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Okay, take care, my friend.
Oh, you too,
Cathy,
sweetie. You take a good care of yourself.
thanks, you
And good
too.
luck at the doctor's tomorrow.
Thank you, Cathy Mulroy, everybody.